Texting is one of the most important things that we can do in our society. Because it is so important, it is also common that it is being misused. This video will show you how to avoid misusing the use of texting.
Tip number 1. Okay, when you text for the first time to somebody that might not have your number, it would be wise to sit there and say, "Hey, it's Lauren from BU Therapy," so that they know. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of times that I get text from either a teen client and it will say, "Hey Lauren," and they'll start asking me something. So tip number 1, always introduce yourself first.
All right, tip number 2 for texting. That red subscribe button, make it gray. Also, ring the notifications bell so that you can see anything else that will save your life sometimes. Also, make sure to like. It'll be very cool.
Tip number 3. Know your audience. What I mean by that is when you text your parents, your friends, or even your employer, make sure you're not using slang. Because let's be honest, if I were to hire you and you were to say, "What's up, yo?" Let's see. I'll have a different conversation with you with that. So make sure you know your audience, because that's going to be the most important part of knowing who you're texting.
Tip number 4 is know your boundaries. Don't talk about personal info and text like you're talking to them there, or send a long, arduous text that will take forever to read. That's what email is for. What you want to do is know your boundaries. Know that who you're texting about what information. Because sometimes you might share some information that might not want to be shared, and the next you're going to wake up and check Twitter, and soon all of your information is all over it and you just can't live it down. Tip number 5, don't leave them unread. If you're out with your friends and you get a text, no you don't, I know being rude and checking your phone, but if it's set like a certain notification for your mom and dad, so you know, okay, this is important, I need to check it. But tip number 5, don't leave them unread. You don't want to leave your parents waiting for you because they're there to pick you up. So set a different notification sound so that you know if it's your mom or your dad or someone that's going to be your ride or a close person. Or you know it'll be an important text that you need to read, because that could ruin your day. You wouldn't want to be stuck sitting at your sports practice waiting just because you forgot to text your mom to, "Hey, come pick me up, I'm stuck here." And then you have to wait an hour to get picked up. Personal experiences.
Tip number 6, make sure you actually send the text, because there could be some very complicated problems that arise if you don't send it properly. And so to recap, tip number 1, make sure you introduce yourself when you're texting someone. Tip number 2 is to subscribe and hit that like button. Tip number 3 is to know your audience, so you're not sending the wrong text to the wrong person. Tip number 4 is to know your boundaries and not write a college essay to someone. Tip number 5 is to not leave them unread. And tip number 6 is to make sure to actually send it.